In this video series, we've emphasized that it takes courage at all levels of an organization to grow what is the heart of an abuse-free life. That is emotionally responsible caregiving. We leave you today with one final story, a story that shows us everything we need to know about caregiving and zest for living.
I'd like to give you an example about spontaneous activities and the zest for life. There's a home with 4 men living in it. They are classified as profoundly retarded, and each has a long history of violent behavior. They can be very aggressive, and they can be very self-destructive. Because they're so violent, it may take 2 staff members to contain 1 person. And therefore, so involved, they'd have another staff member to watch the other. That is just to demonstrate how many staff for these 4 people. The caregivers on the average weekend take the men out in a van. And the first stop is to the movie rental store. And they take out a couple of movies, which are rated R for violence. The next stop is the pizza shop. And each man is given at least 1 pizza, sometimes 2. And the afternoon is spent watching these violent movies and consuming pizza in such amounts that the men are logy and don't feel like doing much. I call it the mozzarella miracle. It's the new Thorazine. Give them enough to eat and they sit quietly because all they can do at this point is digest all that cheese. There's a caregiver in this house who, number 1, does not want to watch those movies and does not want to gain weight eating all that pizza. So on a particular Saturday afternoon, he announces that he's taking a couple of the men fishing. And the other caregivers tease him and say, well, wow, you're not following the schedule. He said, I'll take care of the schedule. So this man takes 2 of these very challenging persons in his own car, goes down to the shoreline because he knows the stripers are running. He takes out 2 fishing poles and casts them into the water, puts them in the sand, and they wait for something to happen. In the meantime, the men are looking around, they're sifting sand in their fingers, they're looking for shells, they're squeezing the sand between their toes. All of a sudden, one of the poles goes, and the caregiver grabs the pole, makes sure that the fish is on it, and then says, come on. And he puts his arms around the man and helps him with it. The man does not know what's on the other end of this line, but it's pulling. And he's trying to reel, and it's a contest, and he's got this smile on his face, and I am a fisherman, and I really don't know why I enjoy it. I call it annoying the fish. And sooner or later, that fish appears, and it's a silver image about 1 foot, 2 feet long, and it comes into the shore. And the caregiver picks it up and disengages the hook and shows it to them. And he feels the slimy body, and then the caregiver puts it back in the water, and it slowly swims away and then darts. All we know about this experience is that the men were fully involved with it, and they enjoyed it greatly, and they didn't have a single difficulty. When they return to the house, the caregiver goes up to the schedule, and during the time he was gone, he just crosses what was written there off and wrote, "Gone fishing."